Imbalie is a manufacturer, franchisor and retailer of skincare products and services. It was formerly known as Skinwell, has a market cap of
51.8 million. It's not currently profitable, so it doesn't have a price to earnings ratio or pay dividends. Sounds a bit like beige.
Sounds a bit like beige, but I must say, after that discussion with Ian Furr last week, I was thinking about whether there's a buying opportunity to take Imbalie. You've got an established footprint and turn it around to compete with the likes of Sorbet that is just forging ahead. They're looking at a revenue this is now Sorbet, 500 million rand for the 2016 financial year. Paul, you want to go and buy Imbalie Beauty with me?
Interesting point. Well, because Imbalie really, Esna Kulane is at the helm. She's a corporate financier who took control of the company a few years after the founders departed. She and Wessel van der Merwe are the controlling interest shareholders. It hasn't done as well as I'd hoped it would, because operationally it's been very tough. It's got lots of leases, it's got its Dream Nails and Plastical stores in lots of malls. Esna, I know, works hard, but it's been tough out there. I know that in the first instances of the starting phases of Sorbet, Ian Furr and themselves talked, but then decided to proceed. I think Ascendus is sniffed around this one as well. So I don't know. I think it is also one of those companies that may ultimately do some sort of transaction, as you say, Brian.
Chris?
Yeah, I think it might get swallowed up by one of the companies that Paul's mentioned. And you know, once Sorbet comes on, I mean, this is just the most amazing operation. It's a local company, and yet it looks like it's foreign. It's really got an incredible amount of hype behind it,
Well,
so I think it'll do well.
Ian, I was chatting to, as I've mentioned over and over, he was leaving to open the first store in London just last week, so that should be happening any moment. So they're going to make a global play as well.
Yeah, so I think it'll be difficult for small operations like this to compete. So look, I think it might be a buyout situation. I don't know what you think about that, Paul.
I think that's probably the way this is going to go.
Look, it's possible, although it's always tricky because you don't really know the dynamics behind the scenes, whether the controlling shareholders want to go it alone, whether they anticipate a return to profitability. Because, you know, it's really a question of whether you can maintain profitable stores. And obviously there are issues and dynamics in individual malls where people are, you know, trading and then someone else opens up down the passage and is doing better. I'm not sure how it is that Ian Furr does it, but certainly that Sorbet has been incredibly successful where others have appeared to struggle.
Hot or not on Imbalie? Paul?
You know, I don't think you can honestly lead people into this stock with limited liquidity. You know, as much as I like the CEO and her team, I'm constantly reminded that the liquidity of these mini cap stocks is not good, and therefore it's probably an automatic not hot.
Hot or not?
Ice cold.